as I said, just find happiness in whatever you do, and you'll reach that certain point in your life.
Hey everyone, welcome to Chats About Success. It's a podcast to know how Filipinos can succeed in today's world. I'm your host, Daniel Lantin. Today's episode is sponsored by the Entitled Podcast Network. If you're interested in starting your own podcast, or if you want someone to manage your podcast promotions or edit your podcast episodes, the Entitled Podcast Network has got you covered. Full disclaimer, this is my own company, so if you want to work with me to get your podcast on the air, send an email to entitledgroupofficial@gmail.com. And today, we have one of my dearest friends on the show. We went to the same college, the same internship in the US for a year. I've known her for like 10 years already. Her name's Minerva Balani, and she's amazing. Now, so I'm recording this because the first half of the show, something happened to the file and I can't see it. So I'll just give you a quick background of Minerva. So Minerva is currently an in-flight crew for one of the biggest airlines in the world. She's absolutely killing it. She's amazing. What she does in every shift is, she mentioned that what we see about in-flight crews is they tell us about safety, emergency protocols, they serve us our food. Roughly that's what they do, but behind the scenes, it takes them so much time to actually get prepared for the next flight, right? So let's say your flight is an hour, they would actually spend more time preparing for the next flight rather than spending time with you in that hour, you know? And it's always been her dream to be an in-flight crew. She mentioned that when she was a kid, her parents and herself went on a flight, and then she saw one of the in-flight crews there, and she told her mom that that's what I want to be. And then she became it. Yeah, it's amazing. And her advice for people who dream of becoming in-flight crew is to just have a really good personality, and to if you want to stand out from the rest, just make sure you're prepared, you're well groomed. And she also said that applying as an in-flight crew in the Philippines is so much more difficult than applying internationally, because if you apply in the Philippines, they just base it all on looks. She told me like sometimes there's like 500 to 1,000 applicants who are applying for the same position. And literally, the hiring manager would just let you all walk in their hallway one by one. And then if she doesn't like you, you'll just keep walking. If she likes you, she'll call you. It's like a weird fashion show. It's what happens. And then she also said that the interviews for in-flight crews is it's different than one-to-one interviews, because it's like a group interview and you have to interact with each other. And then her main tip is to not overpower other people, but to like cooperate with them, and that's what these airlines are looking for. Yeah, so that's it. That's a quick breakdown of the footage that was lost, and now you'll actually hear Minerva talk. Let's go. So, like most people, they want to be in-flight crews because again, they want to travel and it seems very luxurious. Like, what should they know about the reality of the industry?
Okay. With regards to traveling and enjoying yourself, it's very addictive. I would say, like, I cannot say it's an easy job because the work schedule is quite hard. You're never going to sleep on time. You're never going to wake up on time. Your sleep pattern and your eating pattern is going to be all over the place, which is quite difficult. So you need to boost your immunity a lot. But traveling has been amazing. Meeting people from different cultures have been amazing. Like, even if you get hired in a country that's not your own, like for me, I'm currently in Dubai right now. It's amazing to meet this, to live in such an environment that's different from your own. But saying this, there's pros and there's cons. Like, a lot of people don't know how lonely it gets sometimes, like working long hours and then staying in nice hotels, but not sharing it with someone. Like, literally being there, going out and having dinner by yourself in, like, for example, Paris. You want to enjoy that with someone. So these are the things, like, I think Also, like it's hard to keep relationships.
Yeah.
Um, all sorts of. I'm very happy that now with the technology that we have, we get this time to talk to each other. Like you're in Toronto right now, and
Yeah.
I'm in Dubai, and we get to talk. And my family's back home, so I get to talk to them. But it's still very difficult. Like as you get older, and
Mm,
you realize like that you lose those connections with people, right?
yeah.
So I think if you get to this job, you need to be tough and strong-willed as well. Like you would have fun and you would enjoy, but sometimes it comes to a point where you're gonna be lonely and sad, and it's okay because like at the end of the day, any type of job in the world will have pros and cons, and if you can deal with that, then it's fine, right?
I agree. I agree. So,
Yeah.
like, to get into good stuff, like, I've always known you, like, as a go getter. Like, in college, you were a full scholar, right?
Hmm.
100%
Yeah.
scholarship in one of the most expensive colleges
You
in the
were a
Philippines.
scholar as well.
I'm all right, just for like a semester. I don't know, but Minerva's a ballerina. Imagine that, full scholar in
I'm not a
college,
really good one, I
but you got
might
a full
add.
scholarship, so you are. And then during our internship in the US, Minerva and I had the same position. I basically sucked, and Minerva just
No, you
killed it.
didn't.
Ask anyone who worked in that restaurant, yo. I was so bad. For context, like we were working as food runners. Minerva can bring like 3 or 4 plates. I can only bring like 2 plates. So, and I just sucked at that job. Anyway, going back, and then now you're probably my only friend who works for this airline who's considered as arguably the best in the world. I just want to know, like,
It's still standing.
dude,
I've
it's crazy. I just want to
Because
know,
of
like,
COVID, yeah, most
yeah,
airlines really shut down. Yeah.
imagine that.
We are so lucky.
Sheesh. So you guys probably know what this airlines is already. But anyway, like, I just want to ask, were you always like this? Like, were you always a go getter ever since you were young?
I wouldn't say I was a go-getter. I think like um I basically most of the things that I did, like the scholarship and everything, it's because I think my parents have sacrificed a lot for me growing up, and I think that motivated me to do the things that I did. And like I'm very lucky to have such supportive parents. And growing up, I was always exposed to a lot of things. That's why I guess like the moment we had this opportunity to work abroad together, remember for our internship,
Yeah.
they would let me, even if I was an only child, they would let me explore and just go out of the comfort zone and experience stuff to be independent. And I'm very blessed to have that in my life. I think um, as we're talking about success and
Yeah.
everything, I would tell people that you really need to have a good support system. It's very important. And I'm blessed to have like amazing parents and like good friends, to support me. And I think this led to me not being a go-getter, but like wanting to do better for myself.
Mm.
I can say that.
That's
Yeah.
super powerful. Like, cause what do you mean, like, for your parents to be, as supportive as they are? Is it like just words of affirmation, or is it more like supporting you in whatever you want to do?
It's everything. You know how hard it is. Like if I'm the only child basically, and I'm always like in the other side of the world, it's very difficult for them to do that, but they still let me. It's because they don't want me to miss out on the opportunities that's out there. Like I always tell people, if an opportunity knocks, just go for it, because you never know if this path is the right path for you if you don't try.
Yeah.
So I think it's words of affirmation, the support. Like I can also say, like, sometimes if it gets difficult financially, they do still help me.
Yeah.
So it's everything. It's everything. Like I'm very blessed when it comes to that.
That's awesome. And I've met your parents. One of the best parents I've met. Super nice, super welcoming. Would you say that your excellence like came from them, or like did you just develop it on your own?
Excellent. I don't think um maybe like I learned a lot of attributes for them to be better in what I do in life, to be I cannot like how can I say it, like my parents are very hardworking. For example, they lead by example, so I got that from them.
Mm,
So I can say those things, but I wouldn't say excellence. Like I don't think I've reached that point yet, but that's so sweet of you. But like, there's a lot of attributes, and like growing up in that environment where they're supportive, and then I see them working hard to get where they are right now from what they were doing before. It really motivates you as a person to do better in life. Like, and because they gave so much to me, I wanted to work harder so that I can repay that gratitude to them, because
love that.
like, yeah,
That's so good.
basically that's it.
That's so good. So like I think you've reached like a lot of your goals so far, but I want to know what's your ultimate goal?
Oh no, yeah. So I mentioned earlier what are the cons of being a flight attendant. And so, like, career wise, I think like I'm not looking for anything more than that anymore, to be honest. And with this pandemic, actually, it made me realize how much I want to go home and how much I want to
Mm,
start the next chapter of my life. So basically, my goal is like right now to save, of course, because I told you I just want to shout out to all the people who are working in the airline industry. It's a tough time for everyone. I'm still blessed to have a job because yes, my company is quite big, so it's still standing. So we're very blessed. But right now I'm in the stage of my life where I just want to save up and then start a family of my own. If Mr. Right comes knocking in the door, why not? So I'm in the point of my life where I need to work on my relationships. Like I I told you, technology has been great, but of course, like it's different when it's face to face with people that you love in your life.
yeah.
You really miss that. And I guess it's cheesy, but that's my ultimate goal right now, like
Yeah.
to get that. Basically, it's personal life,
Yeah.
to be more successful in my personal
Yeah.
life.
No, that's super important. And with what
Yeah,
you
of
said,
course. Yeah.
I just realized that we're old as hell. If we had this conversation back in the yo, I just remember we were having like a similar conversation like this, like before when
Really? In
it,
Wyoming?
yeah, it's more like alam mo yung super simple lang, like, wait, what do you want? And you're like, I'll probably be an in-flight crew. I don't know. And then you're just
Yeah.
reaching it. And now we're all about, yo, we need to have a family and stuff and settle down.
Yeah, and
We
people
are
are
old,
starting, and you
bro.
see you see online that people are like starting, and I'm like, oh my
Engagements
gosh,
every day.
everyone's just
Get out of my feed.
true, true.
It's true though. And then like super cheesy question, but here this is what I like about the podcast is I can ask you these cheesy questions. Um so guys, if you're listening, like Minerva and I don't talk like this, man. This is not our conversation. This is a different conversation for us. But like I want to know, like, what's your definition of success? I'm not sure if it's your previous answer, but what's your definition of success, and what's the highest form of success to you?
I think like to be success, like for every person, there's a different definition of success. For for me, I guess it's because the one thing I haven't accomplished in my life is really being stable when it comes to my personal life. So I think it's not only about career or it's not just one thing. It's about a lot of things combined. um success, if you are happy with what you're doing, if you are happy with what you, because like you can never be, it's human nature not to be satisfied whatever you're doing in life, like whether you're in, because I could ask other people like, are you happy where you're at? Because like when I see people on my feed that are happily married or have kids, and then they tell me like, oh, you're so lucky because you get to travel and stuff like this. So like we are never satisfied. So for me to be successful is to be happy and content in what you have in life. Of course, you want to improve still, but like to be happy and to be content, it's the real success in life. That's what I believe in.
I agree. That's the same
It's
for
a
me
very
too.
beauty pageant answer, I think.
But it's the
Pero
truth. It's the truth
cheesy.
because I know like some people who've reached their dream income, who've gotten their dream house or dream cars and stuff, and then if you ask them, "How are you? Are you happy?" and they're like, "Not really," because
Exactly,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's like what you said. It's human nature to always want more, but I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's a skill that you have to develop or like a realization, but dude, I think happiness is super underrated in today's society.
True. Of course, right now we all need a little happiness in our life. What's
especially
happening?
especially during these times, right? So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
exactly. So Mino, before I get to the final like three questions here, I just want to say thank you for your time. I know
Oh my God.
you have a
It's
different
nice
schedule
talking to you.
for sure. Because Minerva doesn't really have a set schedule. It depends on the flight, right?
Yeah, actually, this month I'm on reserve, so it's a bit all over the place. And with COVID and everything, flights get canceled or it changes. But so I couldn't really commit. It's a good thing that we had this opportunity. I'm so
Yeah.
happy to see you, and
Yes. Same here.
I'm so happy to hear you guys are doing well there in Toronto.
Same here. And I just want to acknowledge you. I know you're super humble, but like if I were to look at my friends list and be like, who's someone who's killing it right now, you're on that list. You know,
Dav is just sweet, you guys. He's
I'm
killing
not,
it
man.
right now. He's so
Hell no.
famous. I'm so proud of him.
No, man, I'm not famous. But dude, I swear, like, if there's a friend of mine who I know, like, if you set your mind into doing something, like, I'm pretty sure you'll get it. You're one of those people. I'm super proud of
Oh,
what
so
you've
sweet.
you've done.
You're the same. You're the same. Come on. Look what
Man,
he's doing right now.
this is all
Motivating
fate. This
people.
is fate for
What?
me.
No.
No, I'm kidding. So, if people want to get in touch with you or follow you online, where can they find you?
I'm everywhere because this is this is how I communicate with people. I'm also on LinkedIn,
Yep.
and I have so you just put my name, Minerva Balani, you'll find me there. I have my Instagram account, mine's Minu, and I'm on Facebook as well. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, if you want to see like pictures, like, well, we don't have a lot of layovers anymore and stuff. I can't leave my room
Mm,
in most destinations, but I still post pictures about my job and stuff. So if you want, you can follow me on Insta and
exactly.
see.
Or if you're in that
Mm-hmm.
point in your life where you want to settle down as well, Minerva, man, I can vouch.
Wow, binenta mo talaga ako. Grabe ka.
Alam mo yan. Um, and then like,
Cupid,
ano to?
may listahan po ako.
Oo, alam,
Joke
alam mo
lang.
yun naman.
Joke lang.
And then like, who do you know that should be on the podcast next?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about it, but I really think Alisa Mendoza should be here. So she's with us in Benilde as well. And currently now she's in New York. And with what's happening right now in New York with this pandemic, it's getting crazy in the US. Let me just add.
Sheesh.
Basically, she's a chef. So she's when I this is another nice thing about my job. I get to visit our friends from everywhere. So I was able to visit her a few times in New York, and she was working in a Michelin star restaurant. I was so proud of her. But with what happened with the pandemic, job wasn't, you know, she was going from restaurant to restaurant. But now she's actually she has a job and she actually has her own baked good business. So she's making it in New
Oh,
York.
nice.
Yeah. So like
Sheesh.
she's an inspiration, man.
That's
And
awesome.
like with what's happening right now, like she's really killing it, selling like her own baked goods to people in New York. I see her post and I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of this girl.
That's
You know?
awesome. Yeah, I'll get in touch
Yeah.
with her for sure. And then last question, before we end,
Hmm.
if you were to give one tip for somebody to be successful, what would it be?
Um, it would be to set your goal. You need to always set your goal and what you want in life. And I told you just whatever, it's always so helpful. I think you would feel really accomplished if you help people along the way. I think like giving a hand, or if like for example this what Davi is doing, sharing to people like about your experiences to help them out, to motivate, because this is the only way we can motivate other each other. um that's how you reach success, like if you if you've helped people, you know. And as I said, just stay, just find happiness in whatever you do, and you'll reach that certain point in your life.
Absolutely love that. Minerva Balani, everyone. Thanks, Minu, for being here.
Thank you, Davi.
Thank you. And that's it, folks. That ends today's episode. If you want the full video of this episode, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Chats About Success. And to get more content behind the scenes, or if you want to be a part of the community, follow us on Instagram at instagram.com/successchats. And if you want to be a guest on the podcast or know anyone who might be interested in being a guest on the show, just send an email to chatsaboutsuccess@gmail.com. Until then, I hope you achieve your goals, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.